The Charlo twins, man, they were great kids coming up that Sean Craddock knows. He's the co-owner of Boxing Socialist with me. We both own it together. And they're from Houston, and he's from Houston. So he used to see these guys in the gym all the time. And Sean used to box as an amateur. He boxed in the Army. So when these guys were fighting, you know, and coming up as kids, they had a coach out there, Coach Knight. He used to be with them a lot and see these kids. And he used to get them money for Kennedy and stuff like that. He was like, Coach Knight, you got any money for Kennedy? He was like, oh, yeah, sure, kids. Then they got with Ronnie Shields. And then they started, you know, being showcased on our platform, because Sean would go to the Plex gym, meet with Ronnie Shields and record them, and put videos out on them and put them on the website and put them on the showcase, like on the big one. We had a big video on the front and put the Charlos out there. So he has all this footage. He went out, hung out with them, was friends with the uncle. And next thing you know, an article was written by me. I wrote the article. And I'm sitting there writing the article. And in the article, it was another fighter speaking about the Charlos. And the other fighter didn't want to go on record because both of them are on Al Heyman's, you know, thing. So he's like, I don't want to cause no waves. But, and he's like, I was just saying, he was just breaking them down. He was like, I feel Jamal got more dog in him than Jamel. You know, he's just, Jamel, I don't know, if it get too hot, you know, I don't see him having that dog, you know, to bring it out in him. But he's like, Jamal got a lot of dog in him, you know. And that's all he said. All he said about the Charlos. And all of a sudden, they read the title. It was like anonymous. It was like a fighter gives his opinion on the Charlos or whatever. And one of their friends read it and said, Boxing Socialist is dissing you. Oh. Told it to them. So they call Sean and they go off on him. And they like, we want to know who that fighter is, because we don't want him in the gym, and we got to spar, and then we doing all this. Like, we don't want to be around this guy at all. So they was like, he's not somebody that's really in your gym. Like, he was like probably there one time, and that was like it. And next thing you know, they want to know, and then Sean's calling me like, dude, can I tell him? Like, they just want to know. I'm like, you know what? Tell him. Tell him. It don't matter. It's not going in the article, so go ahead and tell him. So he told him, he was like, what? Okay, cool. Now you cut off. We don't take all our stuff down. You are no longer in business with the Charlos. We were like we didn't get any traffic or hits off the Charlos whatsoever. I swear to God, we got it. I'm like, they talked as if like they were Floyd. Like Floyd, they were just like, take my videos down. And I'm like, if you're not Manny Pacquiao, you're not Floyd, you're not Adrian Broner, you wasn't getting that many hits on our page. They hits was like maybe 35. So the way they was talking to him, and I was like, you know what? Sean was like, man, I can't believe this is happening. They tell him I'm barred from Plex. I can't come up there no more. I'm like, Sean, let me talk to him. I'm gonna call him. Sean gave me the numbers. I called Jamal. Because I said, who's making the fuss? He's like, it's really Jamal. So I said, well, I want to talk to Jamal. Jamal had a title fight coming up. So he's like, his first title fight, you know. So he gets on the phone. And then he was, oh man, I already talked to him. I'm like, well, you talking to me? I'm the one that wrote it. So you got a problem with me? Did you even read it? No, you didn't even read it. And I was like, I took it down because of all the controversy, but I should have kept it up just so you could read it, because we actually defended them from the statement that was made and showed proof that he did have a lot of heart, Jamel and everything else. We like, why would we dump on the Charlos? We had no reason to. So it was like, dude, we were cool with you, so why would we turn on you? It's like, it's not gonna do anything for us to turn on y'all. So I'm trying to explain that to him, and his attitude was just so, you know, just like he was. See, now everybody know. Back then, this happened like many years ago. We're talking like 2013, around that time, 2013, 2014, this happened. So nobody knew them like that then. We knew how their behavior was and how their attitude was, mainly because of this situation. And then his attitude with me, and I'm from Chicago, you know, I just only so much of this I'm gonna be able to take. So then when I start talking to Jamal, like, okay, all right, what you want to do about it? Like, okay, it's done. Like, the thing is taken down. What I already told him. I talked to the Sean, because he knows Sean's a nice guy. Right. You know, Sean's a preacher at church. He's a nice guy. You will never hear a bad word from Sean, probably ever. You know, and the thing is, they feel like, oh yeah, Sean, you know, I could talk to Sean and be intimidating to him, and he's just gonna back down. When they had somebody stand back up to him, they ain't want nothing like that. He ain't want to talk no more. He was just like, lose my number, man. Just lose my number. He ain't want that conversation to go no more. He knew right then and there. And I'm like, I have no reason to ever talk to you again. So I hung up and I called Jamel. And Jamel was like, man, my brother, it's not me. Once I explained it to him, he's more reasonable. And he was like, I'm just doing it because my brother reacts this way whenever, because it's been like a known thing, and it's like a pet peeve to them that he's looked at as the tough one, and Mel is looked at as soft. And he's like, that has been going around for a long time since they've been like younger and stuff, and he hates that, Jamal, so he defends his brother. And I get that. And I'm like, see, Jamel, he speaks sensibly. So we and him didn't have a problem at all. We got it cleared up. It was no problems. He's like, man, we're all good here. There's no problems, nothing. We're good. I'm like, all right, cool. It was all good. Next thing you know, Sean was like, yeah, I was up there and it was still kind of weird. And he was like, you know, and he's like, Mel did come over, you know, and speak to me and stuff, but when Jamal was around, he wouldn't talk. So I was like, yeah, then we heard things that they were saying, like Jamel is the type that he talks behind your back. Like he'll be in your face and be, oh man, we're so good and loved, and he'll go behind your back. Don't anybody care about them, no way, they ain't nobody. That's how he is, and we found that out about him. That's how he moves. And he came up, hugged Sean, everything. Right. Then as soon as they gone, then he back with his brother, and I'm like, man, screw that, man, you know. I'm like, oh, that's fake. I'm like, I'd rather you be over there with your brother. Just stay over there with your brother. Don't come play nice with us to be cool, then go run back and support that. No, sorry. Just stay over there. Don't come back. So over the years, you start to see them. Now, they work really hard. Now, I can never take that away from them. They are great, talented fighters with athleticism, but they don't know every damn thing about boxing. And it is very evident that a boxer can beat them, and PBC knows. So they know how to keep putting them in with the right type of fights. You know, I've seen Jamal get exposed by a guy who didn't fight for 3 years, just 2 fights ago. This guy had been out for 3 years, this Russian guy, and he basically almost beat him that night. So they know what they got with them. They're just trying to, hopefully they don't ruin everything before they get up there. And I knew that Jamel was going to lose his fight. The fight he lost. And I saw the fight, I'm like, you lost. You got outboxed.
Against Harrison.
Yeah. Because he can't fight someone who knows how to box and go backwards and use the jab and use angles. They use athleticism and power, and it's like they fight with a ball fist. And you got to start thinking, you know, like they just totally aggression. It's like, that's what Harrison Tony talked to me. He's like, man, these dudes like the first day guys that come in the gym at the Crunk. So we've seen this so many times. I've seen their style. It's so easy. He's like, it's really easy to fight them. He's like, I know I can do even better in the rematch. He wasn't scared at all. He really got injured. He's like, I'm not going to go in the fight with an injury. And he really means that. And I know he can, because I know he could box. His jab is really educated. And he throws it in different speeds, different angles. And he could win that whole fight with a jab. Because, you know, they looking to take somebody's head off with one punch.
How do you think the fight would have looked against Charlo and Hurd if that would have happened at 154?
At 154, they would have had the opportunities early in the fight. Mm-hmm. But I don't know how it would have went as far as the duration of the fight. Hurd is a big guy, and he uses his size a lot. But they're big too, and they can hit just as hard. But in the first couple of rounds, it'd be dangerous for Hurd. And those are the dangerous rounds for him, because he's someone else, just, you know, not really skilled. Like a basketball player that came into boxing, and he's not that skilled, and there's a lot of things he don't know, and fighting a J-Rock is dangerous. Every fight he's been in, the guys basically was winning on the scorecard. They just couldn't get to the final scorecard. I mean, Laura was beating him, everybody was beating him. Tony Harrison was beating him, and everybody was beating this guy. He'll normally stop him late in the fight because his attrition, he just keeps coming. putting the pressure on him. But eventually, you're gonna run into that guy who's crafty enough to beat you, and that style fits their style. And a Philly style, all J-Rock needed was to have a conditioning coach to get him in shape for what he was going to have to go through in that fight. And that strength and conditioning coach made the difference because his style was tailor-made for J-Rock. J-Rock, he loved somebody just going to come forward like that and he could just use all his moves, his inside fighting. He's an inside fighter. I'm like, he's a Philly fighter. I'm like, you in trouble coming in there trying to fight that style. I was just worried, like, would he break down? Like, and then would he have enough to make it to the end of the cards? Because if he go to the end of the cards, he can win by decision. So I just knew it. But he not only did that, he hurt Hurd early and surprised him and put him down. And that changed the perspective because I'm like, wow, he hurt him early and got him on the ground. Now that was something totally shocking. So now that changed the narrative of the fight. And Hurd was at home and he felt a lot of pressure. He was embarrassed, so he had to step it up earlier than he normally was prepared to. So